Hello again, this is Avkash, and today we are going to talk about HDInsight service running in Windows Azure. We will learn how the cluster is created. We will learn by creating a 4-node cluster, and then we will remote into the cluster and do some admin work on it. So here you could see that here is information about Hadoop ecosystem on HDInsight service. So we have ETL tools which can use PIG, BI reporting tools such as Excel, Power Pivot, and Data Explorer can directly connect to Hive tables which are on HDFS, as well as RDBMS systems can connect with HDFS through Scoop, and we will also look into what the services are. So here I have Windows Azure portal, and here I have HDInsight service available within my subscription. So I will go new. Yes, a data service HDInsight, which is in preview. I will go use quick create. I will just use here Avkash HDInsight. Okay, and I will use HDInsight 1. And just to show that okay, this is available, that would become my cluster. Here is a 4 data nodes I can create, because this is a preview, so I can create 4, 8 to 16 or 32 nodes. So I will use 4. Here I will provide my password. Okay, and that's I have to have strict password conventions. So here you go, is accepted. And which data, because of the service is deployed on a specific data center, so I could choose one of them. So I have here Hadoop East US, and I can choose this data center, and that's all really needed. Once I have this, I can just go ahead and create the cluster, and it will take some time, and that cluster will be ready. During this time I really have nothing to do. I just have to wait. It will take about some time, and then very soon the cluster will be available here, and it will just say status running. Once it's running status, then I can just look into. In this scenario, I already have a cluster designed HDInsight. I will look into what is going on. So this is what you see. This is the cluster. Here this is the URL where my cluster is running. Here you could see status running, and there are 4 nodes, and the cluster username is admin. So I can use the password what I really had here. Okay, and this is the cluster. I can say open a new tab. This is the tab. Here is the admin, so I can use admin, and here I could use the password, and I can log into the cluster. Very soon, depend on my user credentials, I would have access to my cluster. Here I can go and zoom it out. So here you could see that is our really brand new cluster. I haven't really run any specific thing over it so far. So here you could see that here I could remote into the cluster. Here is something really very amazing site. You can monitor the cluster. You go to the monitor cluster, and here the MapReduce matrix, and there are the graphs related with my cluster is going to show up. So here you see that these are the monitoring, MapReduce matrix, mappers, and reducer matrix. Here you could see MapReduce queue, as well as the jobs, total jobs submitted, failed, succeeded. This is what you are really seeing here. Okay, and here you can check the name node is up, job tracker is up. They both are in same node. That's why we are seeing here. Here you can actually get the metrics based on a certain time lag after monitoring. It's a brand new cluster, so there are no jobs submitted so far. Downloads, this is what I can download the Hive ODBC driver, so I can connect over Excel. I will give a very quick demo as well. And here I would be using the samples to submit the job. So for example, I can have this 10 gigabyte grade sort, and we can use Terra sorts on Terra validate. We have Pi estimator job, and we have Hadoop streaming, scope import, export, and word count. So let's try to use Pi estimator. This is the Pi estimator job, and here are these. So the example will submit a Hadoop job, and about this with 16 map. Each map will compute 10 million samples, and then what we will going to, here is the source code for the sample. Once I have this, I will say go ahead, deploy this job to the cluster pi. Okay, here are the mappers and here are the 10,000 sample. I can actually go ahead and I can change it to some other value, but in this example I would just keep exactly the same. Here we have it, and I will say go ahead, execute the job. Okay, job is really being submitted. At this point I can come here. This is my HDInsight cluster which I'm really looking into. I can remote into the cluster and I can open one more tab here. I will go ahead and close it. So you see here, job is submitted. What we are seeing here, a job became 1. I can go open a new tab, and this is the job history. It shows it's running. Okay, and I can, it's after some time the log start being spewing out here. So here we are. What we could do, we can remote into this machine. Let's try to remote into. Here is the connect. Okay, here is I'm connecting. Remote desktop connection is being established here, and what I will do, I will try to make it pretty much same size so we can have it visibility, and I can use about this much. Okay, while we can come back, job is still running. We have this shows progress, the job is still going on, and I will go ahead and move this remote desk. Okay, and let's see. So here I will go ahead and close these, close these, close these, close these, and here what I could do, I can name node status. Here is status. Okay, sorry, MapReduce Job Tracker. Let's try to run it. Job Tracker. Here it shows. Okay, completed job. Let me make it here. Scheduling information, queue configuration. Okay, job launcher, default, running jobs, completed jobs, Wednesday, March 9/28/15. It looks like okay, so this was from select. So this is the some past job. It means the job which we have submitted is not updated in this list here. While it's loading, I can come back here. Because we have ran about 10 million samples here, it's definitely going to take good amount of time here. And I was just thinking if I can just come here and look into the completed job. Okay, let's see if we can come here and take the job ID by estimator. There was a job history. We can go actually we can go interactive console. Once it shows up, let's check for help, and there is a job list. Let's run the job list. Because of it's a large job, I think it's just taking little more time for the job to show up here. Job tracker, job launcher running, and it's pretty much configured. This is all job completed job which I ran exactly. Oh, actually this is all completed. So this is the job pi estimator, and it looks like okay. So 20. This is actually a job I was trying to look into. I believe that is just taking some time to render the results over here. Oh, there you go. It was just taking some time to render the results. Okay, so here is the job. Here are the 16 map. Here are the 10 million samples. Okay, and this is the result of estimated value, and here is the full log for the pie job. We can look into the cluster. Here are the, as we see, so there are the 16 mappers. Here are the each map, and we can dig into further, and we can look into the information for each mapper here. Okay, if we really look into the cluster, so it's about almost 4 terabyte capacity cluster. Okay, and I have a lot more space available. So what I will do, I will run the 10 GB data shard as well. So I think that's just gives you an idea that what this, you can just very quickly submit the job, look into the information and something, and look the results. So that's what we ran that. Okay, and now if you really need to run the really very simple, we can have the 2 mapper and 10, just give us 10,000 samples, and that's all we really needed, and execute the job. Job is executed. We can come here and we can try if job list show up, because we just did something. So job list could be by estimator. This is succeeded 814, so it is just running. Okay, we can look into the here, taking time. We can remote into the machine and see what is going on. Hadoop task details, please go back here. Go to cluster, so there is 2. I expect 1 more job to show up. There you go, 3, 2 plus 2. Okay, map completed, and looks like this job, and there you go. So reduce is also completed. There was a 1 reducer. Okay, it means that's doing good. We can refresh it, and there you go. Based on that, 3.1428 and all these zeros. So this is a very 2 maps, 10,000 samples, and that's what you could see here. So that's really very easy way to submit a job and get some results. Same thing, if I want to do word count, I can do it exactly very simple job, and this is just required some kind of content to be loaded. Okay, now what I could do, I could remote into the cluster and come here, keep it here, the command line tool, look into what is available in this cluster. So you here see here that, so we have version. So you see here that we are 1.1, so it's a 1.1 version is actually running. Submit it, get at GitHub, Hortonworks. Okay, and if I really need to see the, so here you see here that Hadoop is available, hcatalog is available, Hive is available. I can just make, and Uzi, Pig, Scoop, Templeton. I can go check Pig, bin, version. Here we have Pig 0.93 snapshot. If I want to go back and look into the Hive, bin, Hive version. Okay, so there is a Hive history file version 0.9.0. That's what we have here. We can exit from Hive as well. So that's what else we saw here. Okay, so Hive, this is Java isotope JS, which is actually a JavaScript engine. That's where we are able to write the commands here. So what you are really seeing here is actually And not only that, if you would look into the services, okay, services, here you could see that these are the services running about Hadoop, and these are the services that started. So that's where you will see name node, these services. That's what everything about running Hadoop on Windows. FS put, I will select a file from here and I will say load this DaVinci at the root, and once this file is uploaded I can run the command ls. That's really showing that user admin, that's the content, which is okay. If I really need to create the mkdir output, or maybe I can run the command results. Once it's came back, okay, that's the results folder, so user admin results. Now I can run a job. So here was the sample word count, deploy word count. So you see here that I'm using word count. Here is the class, okay, and here is the parameter 1, which is used for source, and the results are going to store. In this case the examples look like that. Okay, read the data from Azure storage vault and put that back. And what I'm really trying to do, I'm saying use user admin, okay, use the data here and store the results in out count. Okay, so that's where input and output parameters, they both are here. So word count, okay, DaVinci, okay, execute the job. Okay, we have executed the job here and we will see the results. Word count. Let the job run, come back to cluster. What we could do, we could link into again here to our results, job tracker. Let's see, running job, looks like, okay, and what we are really seeing here, okay, starting job. Wow, I just want to be sure. Okay, completed job, I expect. So this is the 1 2 3 4 and it's a word count. So this is the job we have submitted and I think it's came back. So let's see here, refresh the results, word count, okay, map output records. Okay, so this is what we have seen. Now what we could do, we could come back and check what's the status here. So we could say run this. Now the out count is created, so we can look into this folder and say okay, give us the results for this. There is a part 001, that could be our record. So I think I can use cat paste and I can use part or, and actually I can use I don't remember, because cat would, because this could be a really very large data. So let me see, I think tail command is exactly. So here is the tail command. We have seen the results here about our job, and this is the, so we will load this in pig. This is the URL we have. We can go back to cluster here, Hadoop, go back, pig, okay, launch pig. Once pig is loaded, now what we really need, we need to load this. So we can say my data equals load, and we have already stored the path. That's the path using pig storage, and that's the tab separated content. as, and then what we are going to use, we will going to use word ID, which is character array, and word count is integer, and my data. Okay, now we really need to see that what we really have. So what I can say, first 10 equals limit my data 10. Okay, and now we can say dump first 10. Okay, and MapReduce job is initiated, and we will see the first 10 records because it's really very okay. So this is the job ID. We can refresh this, and I can look into, sorry, where the job been gone. Okay, so job is here. Okay, 50% complete. I will give it time so that we can get result out. Okay, and because of, okay, oh, we made, so here you see these are the words which has frequency 1. So what we really needed, we really need to order this data because we need to get the top 10 record which have the maximum frequency. So what we could do, we could create the my data which is in descending order. So data DESC, which is equals order, and we are going to do the order my data descending is order my data by, and then we're gonna be using the word here, actually the counter. So word count. Okay, that's going to order here, and actually we can do same thing. First 10 my data top 10, and we can say, hey, dump first 10. So here you could see after that what we have done, we ran some job, we created the word count, and then we took the result, and we have taken the result and put into pig, and we collected the top 10 records which are which have the maximum frequency. Okay, job is being completed. We could have several other uses for this, but I just wanted to put together. Okay, and once this result is done, what we will do, we will take this data and we will save that data back in file. Okay, as you see here, job is still going on. It might take a few more seconds job to be complete. It's almost 83% complete, and once it hits 100%, you will see the results. And that's it, job ran. Here are the words which has used. So you see here that which have the maximum frequency, so in descending order. So these are the results. So here the result we have. Now what we really needed is we would have to store this result. So we are going to use the command to store these results. So the first 10 is what our alias is, which is having the results. So I would say store first 10 into, and I will use user admin my results 10. That would be a folder, so the results would be stored here. And I can actually use also something like, I can say using, and if I will use using, I can show that how I really want my data to be stored here. So for example, I can say use these results comma delimited, so I could say using, okay, big storage, and I can use here, okay, please use comma, so code, comma code, there you go. So that will be the results are is already, it's showing the comma, but I'm just making it sure that, okay, result should be stored. So once this job is done, we will go and look into the content stored in local file system. The job is submitted, is about 83% complete, and very soon it's going to be completed. Then we can see the content. Oh, here you go. So results are stored here. Now we can go and look into the HDFS. We can, okay, we can see here, we can say, oh, here Hadoop FS, and we can say show the commands relay in user admin, and the folder is my results 10, my results 10, and let's see, and result would be also result is here in my results 10 part R. And what we could do, we can see the content here, we can say, there you go, part dash R dash 1 2 3 4 5, and let's see, there you go, very nice. There are the results we have. Once we have the results, now we could do one more trick. Now we can load these results in a Hive table. That would be a good idea. Let's try to load these results in Hive table, because our job is done here. We can quit from pig. Okay, let's go back to Hive, bin, Hive, show tables. There are Hive table, sample table, prod products. Let's create a table, and as you see here that we have to store the word and word count. That's all we have. So we can create a table to get our job done. Okay, so what I will do, I will use a notepad here which can help us. Notepad, okay, and the request will be create table words list 10, because these are the 10, and we can define word, okay, words will be string, words count, actually the best, words count will be the integer, and we can use row format delimited fields terminated by, as you remember, we had a colon, and lines terminated by new line character. That's all we have. Create table words list, word string, words count integer, row format delimited, fields terminated by comma, lines terminated by, okay. So here is our table. Let's go use it. Okay, let's run the show table command. Words list table is created. Now what we really needed the file to be loaded here. Okay, and currently our file is located in HDFS. That's what we have seen here. So this file is available in a user admin my results part -r. We are going to load this in Hive table, which we have just created words list 10. Okay, so let's come back here, load. Then we are going to use data in path, and we will use the location here. So that's what we really have here. So I can take this part and okay, and that's gonna be part r dash 00000. So that's what our result is, and overwrite, it's gonna be fresh record into table words list 10. Exactly, that's all we have. What happens, because if the file was in local file system but not in HDFS, I would have used local here, but I'm not using local because my file is my results 10. Just to make sure, my results 10 part r, this is what we really have. Let's run the command. Looks like nice. You see here, default words list. Okay, now what we could do, select star from words list 10. Wow, you see here the results are loaded, and so we have made a really good progress. So I think that's all we have here. We have seen a whole 360-degree work where we submitted the job word count here. That was our word count job. We stored the results in outcount folder. What we did, we have taken the results from outcount folder content, and then we have used pig to generate the top 10 words which have the maximum frequency, and then we use that raw data and saved into the Hive as a table, and those tables are available like this. We can also use Hive ODBC to use Excel outside and connect to this Hadoop cluster and make it work. So that's what I think I would do in my next presentation. But for now, our cluster is running fine. There is no problem whatsoever. We have done a very good demo. So that's all, my friends.